I don't know, because we're on it 18 days in a row. I don't know. I'm not discounting it.
Don't you have the deuce in your house?
It's my new home.
You got the
Hi,
deuce
everybody.
in your attic?
Welcome to ESPN 2. Great. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Cam Newton wins, the Cowboys complain, and Wilbon pretends he has always loved Mitchell Trubisky.
Yep.
But we begin today with Tom Brady's first game as a Buccaneer. He lost to the Saints 34-23 in New Orleans. Brady scored a touchdown on a quarterback sneak, and he threw for two more, going 23 for 36 for 239 yards. But he had two interceptions, including a pick six. Wilbon, do you think that this was a one-off mediocre game for the 43-year-old Brady or something more?
Well, Tony, it's somewhere in between. It's not just a one-off because he's had some mediocre games recently. It shocks people to know that Tom Brady has thrown a pick six in each of his last three games. I mean, that's a trend you don't associate with the Golden Boy. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I expect this out of Tom Brady every week or even next week. It was a first game. He's getting used to new receivers, new running back, new line, a new coach who has a completely different personality and thrust from his old coach, who never said anything publicly, might have said the same things or even more tougher privately. But wow, I mean, this is a whole different thing for Tom Brady. I don't expect to see this next week. I don't. What about you?
Yeah, look, I root for Tom Brady, and I want him to do great, and we've got the Brady-Belichick bet, and I'm 0-1 at the moment with that bet. But even I did not expect him to beat New Orleans in New Orleans.
I didn't either.
They are a playoff team. They're a Super Bowl contender. They go every single year. They got Drew Brees. They got Michael Thomas. They got Kamara. You know, well, what do the Bucs have? First of all, Brady had never taken one snap with any of these people.
That's right.
And what do the Bucs have? They got no pedigree. They got nothing. The last time they were in the playoffs was 2007. So this was a game that, I thought that the Buccaneers would lose.
We both thought that. I know in my pool yesterday, in my confidence pool, I had, New Orleans, and I didn't have them by a tiny amount. It was a 7 or 8 point pick to me. But, Tony, it was just weird with Jameis Winston, Mr. Turnover, who has been blamed for everything that didn't happen in Tampa last year, on the New Orleans sideline, and Tom Brady throwing a pick six. The pick six, I think I was talking to you at the time, and it brings about a gasp that you see, the Golden Boy, and he's not going to run after him to the goal line. But again, Tony, it's week one. I don't want to be... overreaction
you don't want to
Monday,
overreact.
the very first week.
You don't want to overreact. But you mentioned Bruce Arians, and I want to get to this point because he's Brady's coach now. Brady said, I just made some bad, terrible turnovers. He took the blame, which is all we ever ask. And Arians said both the interceptions were Brady's fault. He sided with Michael Evans on the first one. He said he ran the route the right way. The second one he called, quote, bad decision. He said of Brady's checkoffs at the line, quote, some were good, some weren't. Let me ask you a question. How many Super Bowls has this guy won? He's killing Tom Brady. What?
He did kill. What does that mean? I mean, it's not like Brady can say, I'm going to leave and go back to New England because we're going to get to that. They got their, maybe they got a new, younger golden child.
Mike, 24 hours later, he said Brady needs to show more grit. Brady needs to show more grit?
He sounded like somebody on social media. Instead of the head coach of a football team, Brady's got to look around and go,
whoa, to me.
I must have a new coach.
It's a wow.
Brady's old team won behind its new quarterback. Cam Newton rushed 15 times for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead the Patriots past the Dolphins. Bill Belichick said that everything the Patriots have done offensively the last 20 years has been for Tom Brady, and he'll take advantage of Newton's particular strengths now. Tony, what conclusions are you willing to draw about the Patriots and Cam Newton after their game one?
Yeah, as Liam Neeson once said, I have a very particular skill set. What I am willing to draw as a conclusion is this, that Cam Newton has never played for a coach as good as Bill Belichick, and he has never played for an offensive coordinator as flexible as Josh McDaniels. They looked around and they said, this guy's not Tom Brady. We don't have to do what we did with Tom Brady. We'll run him 15 times, the most on the team. We'll tailor something directly to what he does. And I don't know that he has ever had that before. Now, Mike, I don't think you want to run him 15 times every game.
No, we'll get to that.
Because as big and strong as he is, he has a tendency to get hurt. But he looked good, he ran good, he passed good.
And he was excited afterward. And you could hear what I thought was a genuine level of excitement and optimism out of Cam Newton, Tony, because, of course, he feels fresh, relatively speaking, although there are already questions about a hammy. Tony, here's a lot we know. One, this offense is going to evolve because anybody working for Bill Belichick, you better get better week to week, and you better be flexible. You mentioned flexibility. You better be able to do new and different things that Bill didn't show you the previous week. However, the Patriots have nothing really invested in Cam Newton, and they can run him 130 times. What would they care? They don't have to worry about the bonus he might not fulfill by not being on the field next year, because how long is his contract for with the Patriots? One year. 1 year. Completely cynical comparison compared it to the way you use a rental car. And you know what you do to a rental car as opposed to the car you're buying. So
look, I get that.
This is a fair observation.
Get all that.
I won't even call it a criticism.
All right, I get that. And I think that Cam Newton looks at this season as an audition tape for next year, and Bill Belichick looks at his season as an audition tape for next year if the Patriots want him back. And I understand that. In terms of overreaction, let's wait a little bit because New England, if I'm not mistaken, New England goes to Seattle next Sunday night. So we're going to learn more about them.
Yes, we are.
You don't want to base anything on 1 week. You don't want to do
Agreed.
that. And I still got Brady. We'll see.
I'm 1-0. I'm up on you. I'm up one in the standings.
You are. I'm one game behind at the moment.
Okay.
I am. We move now to the Cowboys and Rams. The Rams won 20-17, but the game appeared to hinge on an offensive pass interference call with 21 seconds left by Dallas receiver Michael Gallup on the Rams' Jalen Ramsey, the richest defensive back in the world. Wilbon, like the rest of us, you've seen this play 50 times now. Was that call legitimate?
I saw it live, and I must admit, Tony, I was waiting for the flag to be thrown. That doesn't mean I thought it should be thrown. I just thought it would be thrown, and it was. Gallup and Jalen Ramsey were hand fighting. Gallup wasn't extending his arm on his own. The first act you see is Ramsey having Gallup's arm right here in the elbow. You don't have to make that call. Again, everybody's saying the same thing. Letter of the law says you can. I don't want to see that call there with a guy like Jalen Ramsey, who's supposed to be the greatest thing in the history of cornerbacks. I don't want to have to see that, Tony. That call made, and I know you must have felt the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with the call. I don't think it's necessary. I'm okay with it. I think it's legitimate. I'm okay that Mike McCarthy, in his first game, I think to impress Jerry Jones as to what kind of gambler he is, didn't want the field goal late and threw when he needed 3 yards, threw a 2-yard pass, had his quarterback throw a 2-yard pass. But I'm okay with that. I would have kicked a field goal so that I could then, with another field goal, win the game. But I don't begrudge that.
There were 11 minutes to play, too. 11 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, so I don't begrudge it. I will say this. And I know this doesn't matter to you, but it does matter to me. I never bought the line at the beginning of the game that Dallas was a 3-point favorite at L.A.
I didn't either.
Dallas is so glitzy. They're overrated every year. People get stars in their eyes about Dallas every single year. People say, oh, how much are they going to pay Dak? How much are they going to pay Zeke? How much are they going to pay Amari Cooper? What have they won? They've won nothing. This other team, Mike's pretty good team, went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Pretty good.
Tony, the Dallas Cowboys are the most overrated, overstated franchise in American sports, North American sports. And you know what? Part of it is the fault of everybody on this network, because every week they act as if the Dallas Cowboys are the New England Patriots or the Edmonton Oilers of Gretzky or the Jordan Bulls, and they're not. People, stop with the Cowboys. They're a good team. They scored 17 points. I mean, if you got that offense and you have a quarterback who's making $31 million, you might ask for more than 17 points. You might.
Every single year, the expectations are enormous for the Dallas Cowboys, and they don't ever really live up to them. And if you're going to say all of this fault is with Jason Garrett, oh, stop.
No, stop.
Oh, please.
But wait a minute. I didn't get a chance to take a shot at Carson Wentz. Can I get that? Is that coming up?
It's the next segment.
Okay, I can't wait.
Slow down.
As Bart Scott once said.
Let's take a break. Coming up, Russell Wilson put up an incredible stat line. But was he the best quarterback of the day? No, Carson Wentz was.
Better than the guy in Philly. And should we give the glory to the Bears for their comeback win? Oh, my God. or rip Matt Patricia and the Lions like everybody on social media is doing.